Hi everyone, welcome back to the Learning Gardener. We are down the very back of my garden today. Oh, Freckle, that was a funny noise because we've got a whole bunch of stuff to do and not that many hours left of daylight to do it, because this morning I went to a farmers information event which turned out to be a little bit underwhelming, but nonetheless we thought about learning some stuff. Anyway, you can see that the chicken run is bathed in sunlight in the afternoon, which is great in winter because this is kind of the only area where, like, this part of the yard was the only area where the chickens could have been put, and this is the only patch that gets some sun in winter. But in summer, they're going to get torched, so we need to do something about that immediately. We've just had another 100 mils of rain in one evening, so everything's soggy again, which is great. But our new trenches worked really well, so I will show you some footage. I came down here at night when I just got back from a trip to Sydney, and the trenches were going really well. By the end of the evening we'd had even more rain, and it had pushed some of the mulch down like into the pebbled area and away from the trench a little bit, so obviously a tsunami had fallen while I slept. But at least generally speaking the trench worked a lot better and things have dried out faster, although we've still got puddles around. But a couple of days before that storm, I was thinking I really need to take this clear/white tarp off that we'd put on for one storm at the very beginning of winter and then never were able to take it off because all it did was rain. But it was we had two really warm spring days back to back, and the chickens were in there panting. So we need to do something about this so that they're not melting and dying in summer. The plan was always to take it off. If you guys remember, there's a few pieces of plastic on top that was supposed to be rain coverage. We need to put another piece over where Betty White is still sitting on her eggs, which are due to hatch any minute, but I don't think will, because she damaged one this morning and she kicked two out of bed, so whatever. So this needs to come off. Obviously I can't snap my fingers and make pumpkins grow up the arbor, which is unfortunate because that would be cool. But I can't even get the pumpkins to germinate really at this point because all of my water bottles got flooded while I was in Sydney, like flooded. Oh dear. Anyway, so what we are going to be doing is planting a whole bunch of trees down here to try and cast shade. Now, they are trees that lose their leaves in winter so that we don't lose the sun in winter. And they're trees like the red maple we buried Black Betty under last week, that I've had sitting around for a while I ummed and ahed about where I was going to put them, and my plans have changed 1,600 times. And now I have no plans. We're just going to stick them in the ground wherever we can dig a hole because we need sun protection ASAP. So we have got a sugar maple, which when it matures you can harvest maple syrup from. Not that I think that I'll be harvesting maple syrup anytime soon because it's a tiny tree. We've got a macadamia tree. I've got a blueberry, which was supposed to be replacing a dead blueberry in our blueberry strawberry raised bed that was overtaken by mallow that I've subsequently sprayed back and was going to cover and smother, and in the 2 days of rain the mallow's grown back, which is really annoying. But we're obviously not going to be putting the blueberry in a bed we're about to smother, so I thought we'll stick it down here. If we get some blueberries, great. If the chickens get some blueberries, great. I want to plant a fig out here. I want to relocate 2 hydrangeas and put them in the front garden because hydrangeas are toxic to chickens. I want to put a barrier around the one hydrangea that we've got here, which I wanted here because I wasn't planning on letting the chickens out and about, but as you can hear, they're quite happy out and about. But I wanted that to grow up and be a quick shade cover. That's why we've got things like wormwood around here. So hopefully that will provide some coverage. And as I said, we're planning on growing climbers up here. But we need to get them in the ground quickly. We've also got 2 buddleias that we need to plant up in the top garden, and I think we've got maybe an hour and a half of sunlight left. So we just need to get into it. So this is probably all the explanation I will really do. So let's get into it. Let's plant these trees and shrubs and move hydrangeas and pull off this what's it called, tarp, and we're going to put up some shade coverage and then put up some netting over the top of the shade coverage so the pumpkin actually has something to climb up, because if it just has the plastic rain cover underneath, then it's not going to have anything to attach to. So lots of work to do, and we've just got to get into it.
For each other like a bullet from a gun, faster than the sheriff's drawing, harder than the sun. Didn't see it coming lately, I've been on the run. You know you've seen my face before, so let me tell you something. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I want it, would you still want me? 'Cause babe, I want it. Do you still want me? I got a bag of money, honey, and it don't belong to me. Took it from a man that had it coming, so you know it wasn't free. We'll load this Smith and Wesson up and take our horses east. And if we run into any trouble, we'll leave them in the crimson streets. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I want it, would you still want me? 'Cause babe, I want it. Do you still want me? Would you head for the hills if they found me? Would you turn me in for the bounty? Or vultures are circling around me? Would you die by my side?
Not afraid to step outside and see the world for what it is. No, spending all my time with people that I barely know. You may have thought that I was lost, and all I need is room to grow. I'm coming home to put a flower in your hand. Thought you should know, ain't no place I'd rather be instead. feel alone, you know it's me and my guitar. We're looking up at darling stars, singing where we supposed to go now. Ruthie, little lady, tell me what you mean to me. And I'll build a house in Byron Bay, if that's exactly where you'll be. I'm coming home, put a flower in your hair. But you should know, there ain't no place I'd rather be instead. No.
is love in this shelter. All we need is love. All we need is love. Enjoy it while you can, 'cause nothing gonna last forever, baby. Nothing gonna last forever. I don't know what's your plan, but nothing gonna last forever, baby. Nothing gonna last forever. I don't wanna spend some time, as long as we're doing fine. You can call every time you're blue, and you say
We did run out of time to finish up the chicken enclosure because I mean it's sunset now, but I really want to make sure that I have the plastic layer on over Betty White and the eggs, and that's just going to take longer than chucking a tarp off and putting a shade cloth on, so that's going to have to be a job for tomorrow. I am actually completely in love with these snapdragons. They're looking really ridiculously healthy, and I still love this combination of the lemons and the pansies, and I've hated this garden bed for the 2 seasons we've lived here. It's just never turned out the way I wanted it to, and now it's got this really annoying invasive kind of not clover weed, but a little bit like that. I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of kidney shape. Maybe it's a kidney weed. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm hoping that with these snapdragons here, and I've relocated the yellow echinaceas to a more visible spot because one was behind the pot for the lilac, that with a buddleia, which I love these plants and the bees love them, and 2 hydrangeas, we're going to have some gorgeous spring color. It's going to cover the color bond a bit more, and it's just going to hopefully look fuller. And because the hydrangeas are perennial, and the same for the buddleia, it's not some, and obviously the echinacea, and sometimes in Australia the snapdragons can be perennial. I'm not going to have to plant this up all the time, and it's just going to leave a little bit of spot for annuals, but not a ton. Eventually I would like to potentially extend this garden bed a little bit, but we'll see how we go. First I just want to get this part looking how I want it to look, which hopefully this year it will, but as I said, we've run out of sunlight, so we're going to have to call it here for today. But at least we've got the macadamia in, we've got the sugar maple in, we got the fig in, and the blueberry, and I put old rotten logs around the base of the trees so the chickens can't dig them up. And look, the problem with placing these trees is I want the trees, but I also don't want them to shade their garden beds. So they're going to be competing for real estate. I think I'm going to be trying to keep the macadamia tree on the smaller side, less on the 4-meter side. But the maples, like, if they compete with each other, well, oh well. I just need them to give me some summer shade, and autumn leaves would be really nice. And there's also the ornamental pear down there that's been moved 6,000 times and is literally in a swimming pool right now, and it's coming back to life. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if that area ends up being quite a dense area. And when you look around, like I'm looking down our backyard at the moment now, which is all bush, like those trees are packed in and they work it out. So hopefully they can sort it out. It's just going to be a problem if I ever need to remove that ironbark tree, but it's going to be a problem if I need to remove that ironbark tree anyway because of access and chickens. But hopefully they'll sort it out, because in summer the sun comes torching down in this direction and will hit all of them, and in winter it comes in this way, so again it will hit the macadamia, and the maples will have lost their leaves. So hopefully it'll work out, because I couldn't put the macadamia where I wanted to put the macadamia because I don't know for sure that the macadamia loses its leaves in winter, because it didn't while it was in that pot sitting up on the deck, and I don't want it to shade out the front part of the chicken run that gets some sun in winter. But we do want shade pronto in summer. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick video, and hopefully we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.